Wasting no time. Hour number 2. And it's time to catch up with Logan Fisher. And we will see what's going on with Coach as they're getting ready for Tennessee SC and North Carolina Courage in the right-hand side of the bracket. And they're getting ready for the USL Final Four. Coach, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing all right. Yeah, how much of a creature of habit are you when it comes to routine on game days and things like that? Do you have superstitions or rituals or whatever you want to call them for game days?
I wouldn't say rituals, but we definitely, from the time we go out to, the warm up itself to, everything. I think I said consistent environment a million times in the last interview. And again, that's one of the things that no surprises for the girls. Can they be as comfortable as possible? So they know exactly what to expect down to the minute. And but no real rituals. Try and take a quick moment and pray before every game, and that's it for me. So.
Well, and the reason I ask, somewhat selfishly, is because, every time that you've come on the show here in this stretch run, you've continued to win. And I didn't know if, we should take any kind of credit for that.
Oh, hey, we'll send a trophy your way.
I will take it. When you look at this run that you've been able to piece together, I know that everyone's gunning for you every single time. You've got the bullseye on the front of the jersey and the back of the jersey each and every time that you go out, because everybody looks at national rankings. Oh, Tennessee Soccer Club's coming to town. We'll try and knock them off of their perch and send them home early. When it comes to managing expectations and making sure that you still play within yourself, how difficult is it as the season gets longer and longer and longer to tune out all of this noise that folks like me keep bringing up?
Again, just taking each game as it goes. The girls obviously always know what the task is at hand going into it, and again, we don't. Like I told you a couple interviews ago, we spoke about the national rankings for the first week because it was new to the franchise, and we enjoyed it for that first week, and it hasn't been brought up since. So we know the job that's at hand, and it's to take each game at a time and do our maximum effort to get a win in that time frame leading up to the game, and then we move on to the next one the second the game is over. So we won against Asheville to clinch a conference title, and we enjoyed it on the field for 10 minutes, and then it was all eyes on NC Courage immediately afterwards. So
how difficult was that environment? Because a lot of folks know that you go to Asheville, you take on Asheville City, whether it's on the men's side or the women's side, that it is a tough place to play, and going through that weekend to get to where you are now. How difficult was the weekend on and off the field, managing everything and expectations and knowing what you wanted to do? How difficult a grinder was it up there?
That was a tough weekend. I actually got sick. Don't know if you can hear it in my voice.
A little cloggy with the nasal, yeah.
Yeah, so in between game 1 and game 2, I was locked in a hotel. Didn't even see the girls on Saturday, and then thankfully I have an incredible staff that was able to get me through the game on Sunday. So just little things like that, people taking knocks on the first day. How quickly can we get them recovered and ready to go for the Sunday? Down to Friday night, the game got delayed because of weather. So our warm-up is interrupted, and just the little details that I've had to commend the girls multiple times on throughout the year of, this is a pre-professional league. We've got girls that have went on to play pro out of the club in this past 5-6 months. And, we keep pushing for more of them to move on and take that same direction. And how we help with that is to give them the most professional environment to succeed in. And obviously I've got friends in the pro game, and nothing, even at the USL Championship level, they strive to make sure that there's no blips, and there's always something small that comes up. But our girls have handled everything this season. We played in multiple home stadiums. We, little story going down to SSA, we get stuck in Chattanooga traffic,
Been
and
there.
yeah, we're rushing to get to the state. Just little things like that. Obviously, nothing massive. Obviously, what we control really, really well from a staff perspective. But the girls just handle everything so professionally. They just get on with the job that's at hand. So, the fans definitely played a part in the weekend. Obviously it's really nice, and you have to commend Asheville for the environment that they've been able to produce, not only at their previous stadium that I got to go to when I was on the men's side, but also what they're doing here at UNC Asheville and the environment that they create and the fan base that they've created. And it was a tough night on Sunday, but tactically we were able to stifle them as much as we possibly can and take our chances when they arose. So
How difficult is it when you're sick and you're locked in a hotel room? And I know that it's like, are you passing notes under the doors? Are you like, yelling through the door, assignments and things? Are notes getting passed? How does this work when you're there? Or is it complete and total trust in the assistants that are there, that they know what's going on? We've been around each other long enough. We're in that much of a rhythm that they can handle it. They can pick up the phone. They can call me. I can be on speaker. How does that work?
well, in all honesty, I massively trust my staff. You know, they took the brunt of everything that needed to be done. And again, we honestly didn't. We've played Asheville so many times. I actually took Saturday as an opportunity to give the girls a breather, and just to refresh. And this has been such a grind this summer. A lot of them, haven't had a chance to see family or go to the beach like every other college student wants to do. So gave them the day to go explore Asheville and in a smart way, obviously go get some smoothies and bond as a team, and then we picked it up again early Sunday morning and went through the video of Asheville versus Florida. So but I, massive trust in my staff. They have been around me long enough now. This is the second year. They know my standard and expectations. So a couple of assignments were texted into the group chat, but they took it and ran with it, and they know exactly what needs to be done at all times. So
when it comes to being in a rhythm like that for with you and your coaching staff, was there a moment in a season where you sat there and it's like, yeah, okay, we're of the same brain here? Or was it just something that evolved over time? Was it one of those snap things where it's like, yep, okay, we're all on the same page? Or just being around each other, you kind of get into that Borg-like environment where it's like, yeah, okay, we are of the same brain here?
no, it was probably a slow burner. The girls joke a little bit. I'm a little bit easier to work with this year than I was last year. To take a group that really, really struggled in year one and to get them to the level that we got them last year, and then increase it into this year, there was going to be a little bit of growing pain there, and for the coaching staff as well. I'm massive on detail and organization, and you know last year I always point to last year, that South Carolina Bantams result on the road where we get last minute equalizer from Meredith Nye. I think that was the moment in our season where everything just clicked. We took a weakened squad down there. We had a couple of injuries at the time, and to grind out a result against a very, very good team. I think that's that moment where the coaching staff and the players, we all just sort of merged into one, and then it really started not becoming robotic, but also or just everyone just on the same page and moving in the right direction. And obviously I always point to that South Carolina result because we go on an 8-game winning streak from there and clinch the playoffs. So until Asheville a couple of weeks ago in the regular season, we hadn't lost a regular season game in something like, I think it was 20 games or 19 games or something like that. So, definitely a slow burner. But again, it just comes to the standard and expectation that we set as a club and as a franchise. And this is what's going to be done, and everyone moving in that same direction.
another couple of minutes here with Logan Fisher, the head coach at Tennessee SC, as they get ready for North Carolina Courage and traveling to Cary. We're catching up with him before he hops on the bus and heads to Cary to take on Courage at WakeMed this weekend in the national semifinals in the USL-W League. When it comes to what we do sometimes with some of our other programming is we have a lot of high school programming and we have college programming that's aside from all the leagues that we cover. One of the features that we like to have is what we call Make That Kid an Offer. And it's for an athlete that for whatever reason, they're too whatever. And yes, I did just use air quotes on the video version, where they could be too small. They could be, they could be coming from too small a town. They could be too small an individual. They could be too light. The weight might be an issue, that they look like they, very, very skinny, and they look like they may not fit into the cleats that you've been given. For whatever reason, they're not getting the looks that you think they deserve, or they think that they should be getting more looks and could be at a higher level than where they currently are. When it comes to the athletes on your roster, does anyone fit into that overlooked element where you're sitting there saying, I don't know why they're at this particular location? They need to be at a higher level, and folks need to be looking out for this player because they are far better than what they're being looked at right now. Does anybody fit that, Make That Kid an Offer look for you?
Yeah, I have a ton, man. Even from, I have to shout out Keaton Mitchell for she is at a massive school at UT, obviously easing her there, Joe there at UT is easing her into that system, I'm sure. But she's one that, if you look at her minutes and what she was able to give to UT last season compared to the level that she's played at this summer, I think, that's one where, the folks that follow the SEC and the football in the SEC there, that she's going to be one definitely to watch out for. I've spoken about her on the show a couple of times. Meredith Nye, that's another one at Tennessee Tech, where in the right system at the next level in the professional ranks, she is a phenomenal asset. She breaks up play. She does exactly what we ask of her. Again, she fits our system perfectly, and she was played tons of minutes last year for us, and has been very solid in our plans and lineups this year as well. So even going back to, she made a debut earlier on in the year, but is now getting a bit of a run. Bailey Fiore in goal for us, Division II goalkeeper. Plays at Trevecca Nazarene here in Nashville, and she's another one where, does she fit the profile of your average, Power 5 Division I goalkeeper? Probably not. So a little on the shorter side when you just look at her, but what she was able to do in those two games in the playoffs, 2 clean sheets, multiple massive saves in massive moments for us, coming out claiming crosses especially against an Asheville side that not only is, they have the size, but rely on set pieces a little bit as well. So, we have multiple in the squad. We're very blessed to have, your Anna Haddocks, your Katie Shays, your Maddie Podelskis, your Courtney Jones, all playing at massive schools: Alabama, Vanderbilt, Auburn, South Carolina. But the core of our group comes from, the schools that you look on paper and you think, oh, they must not be that good. But, Destiny at centre back for us, plays at Chowan in North Carolina, has been phenomenal for us this season. Then you got your Tennessee Techs, Trevecca Nazarenes. It's just what we've been able to do as a group comes down to the individuals that we brought in. Again, you can't judge a book by its cover, and what you see on paper isn't always true. And to the system works for these girls, and they get to play with some of the best girls in the country. But they also, they're not there to just take part. They're there to be a part of the group that takes over. So, they've been phenomenal for us, and it's a testament to them as individuals.
As always, it's great to have you on. You're getting ready to take on North Carolina Courage in the national semifinals on the right-hand side of the bracket this weekend. Be safe getting down there. Have a great match, and we'll be keeping an eye on things, and we'll be catching up with you soon. Thanks for dropping by before you hop on the bus.
Yeah, thanks, John. We'll speak to you guys soon.
All right, that's Logan Fisher, head coach at Tennessee SC. He's going to be getting ready for hopping on the bus and driving to Cary, North Carolina. Right-hand side is Tennessee SC taking on North Carolina Courage. Left-hand side of the bracket, Colorado Storm and Detroit City. And those are your national semifinals in USL-W. Once again, you got Detroit City and Colorado Storm at Keyworth at 7 o'clock on Saturday night. 6 o'clock start for Tennessee SC and North Carolina Courage.